Happy Wednesday, everybody! What's going on? Welcome to Cruise Talk Live. You're joining myself, Josh. Right over beside me, we got the man down south. Look at him. Peter, are you on a cruise ship or are you flying above? Are you being a drone tonight? Are you being a drone?
I'm flying above it. It's right
You're
there.
flying above the cruise ship tonight. We got Peter G joining us down in Florida, guys. Joining us via the interwebs. We appreciate them so much for cooperating with us tonight so far. Cross your fingers they do that the rest of the night, guys. Welcome to Cruise Talk Live. We're so happy to be hanging out with you for the next hour, guys. This is the show where we talk all the latest cruise news and updates. And, of course, just hang out and chat with one another. If you don't know who I am because you haven't seen me in a while, my name is Josh. So good to see you guys back. We've been on a bit of a break here at the Cruise with Josh studio for the last month. Just taking a break after the holidays and, just taking some time for myself. And I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have had a good start to your new year. Tell me, what are you up to today? What is going on in your world? I'm sure you're wondering, if you're a regular to the show, you're probably wondering, where is Momma Hocum? I do have an unfortunate update for you guys that we'll share a little bit later with Momma Hocum. But we'll get into that here in just a few minutes. Before we do that, we of course want to say some hellos to everybody and welcome you into the show, into the chat. If you're watching with us live, that's right, this is a live show. So if you're watching on a rewatch and you're wondering who the people are that I'm talking to and you don't see, it's the chat, okay? And I do invite you to join us in the live chat. If you are watching live, drop a hello, drop a what's up, drop a thumbs up on the video, and share it out with a friend. That's your part. That's what you have to do tonight. That's your homework. Make sure that you get it done. Testing is tomorrow, okay? Let's jump over into the live chat. Say some what's ups, say some hellos to people, and then we will get into the news if that is okay. And we'll get into the chats. If you have any questions, you have any comments, you want any shout-outs, anything like that, be happy to interact with you in the live chat, so feel free to just drop that over there. Before we get into this live chat, of course, Peter, we have to welcome the first person in the chat. And first person in the chat, for a while, Jack was holding his own there. He had it every week like clockwork. There was no fighting him on it. There was no debate. Everybody knew Jack was going to be it. But recently, I have to tell you, Carrie Brock, you have held your own. She has been our first in the chat. I think maybe not last show, but the show before that. Carrie Brock was also the first person in the chat. Easiest way to be the first person in the chat, guys, just have that notification bell turned on. And so, Carrie, you've been doing a great job at that. Thanks for being the first person in the chat. Peter, what have you been up to today? Have you done anything fun while I get the chat loaded up?
Lots of working.
Yeah.
Just, I see Gary asked if I upgraded my pass yet. I can't upgrade it until the middle of next month, so like 2 weeks. But yes, I'm definitely going to upgrade it. Thank you again for helping me out with that.
So what is this all about upgrading the pass?
This is about my Disney.
For those who don't know.
Yes, it's my Disney pass. I have the gold pass, which is one below the platinum pass, because I never really needed the platinum because I wasn't really here for Christmas and spring break, which is when it's blacked out.
And what's the real difference between the two passes?
The only difference is the blackouts. So the platinum has no blackouts. The gold, you're blacked out like 2 weeks in spring break, and then 2 weeks like right after Christmas. But my friend's coming down for spring break this year, so I have to upgrade my pass.
Yeah, very good. And so Gary was very gracious and kind and helped out with that a little bit. Yeah. So big thanks to Uncle Gary there. Thanks so much for helping Peter out. Certainly do appreciate it, buddy.
Yes.
So lots of work for you today, huh, Peter? Lots of work. Very good. Yeah, no, myself, I've had lots of work as well. We've been preparing for a believe it or not, a snow day, guys, here in North Carolina, potentially, and I say potentially because, like I just said, here in North Carolina, which anything is possible, we can start the week off with 80 degrees at the beach and finish off with an ice storm. It's just how it rolls here, okay? We go with the punches. Yeah. We have celebrated all 4 seasons in the span of 1 week before. Last year, it was that way, much the same. I think this year it was. I woke up this morning, it was like 60-something outside, and they're calling for like 1 to 3 inches of snow tonight. So, it is what it is. Welcome to North Carolina. We're happy to have you. you grab a snow shovel and a bathing suit. You never know which one you're going to need, right? So we have been heavily preparing for a snow day tomorrow, potentially, or should I say a snow morning, because it's supposed to be several hours of rain, followed by potential heavy hours of snow, several, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours of snow, and but it's not really supposed to get like below freezing. Like it's going to be right around freezing point. So who really knows what's going to happen? We could wake up and it just be slushy, sloppy mess outside, or we could wake up to a winter wonderland and all the kids are having fun. But I found it quite funny and quite interesting. The school system here actually sent out an update to let everybody know that tomorrow is going to be a virtual learning day instead of just a snow day. So our thoughts and theories about the kids never having a snow day ever again have officially come true. Poor kids don't even get to enjoy a snow day anymore. They still will have to go to school tomorrow. They'll just have to do it on their little tablet devices or whatever. So we've been in heavy preparation for that.
Sad.
I know, right? Like every kid deserves a snow day, okay? I think, like, just one. I'm not saying we need to be out of school for weeks on end, but I think a snow day, especially here in North Carolina, like, that's a big thing because we don't get snow on the regular basis. So when we do, everybody freaks out and all the bread and milk is gone and eggs are gone and, we're in a pandemic now, so everybody's used to that. So, you got to make it special somehow. Go outside and build a snowman, but not going to be able to do that tomorrow. They do have to do that virtual learning. Well, hey, I want to say big thanks to our first super chat of the night, Jessica Crack. Jessica Crack, big thanks to you. A $5 super chat. No comment. I don't see a comment there with it, Jessica. So if
I think she actually left a new one with a comment.
She did. It's literally popping up right now, actually. It's popping up right now on the screen. She says, I'm so excited for the group cruise. Thanks for making booking super easy. Cheers. Absolutely. That's where I was going with Jessica. Yeah, so Jessica is joining us on the Oasis group cruise. We actually announced that
It's this right here.
That's right. It's right behind Peter, and we actually
I'm going to be hanging out right there. Oh, sorry, Josh.
No, where are you going to be hanging out? I want to know.
I said I'm going to be hanging out right back there at the show. Ooh,
oh, because see, I thought, Peter, that you were saying you were going to be hanging out on the Flow Rider. That's what I thought that you were pointing to, which everybody knows is your favorite, Peter. Like, the flow, like you can't. Does anybody remember Peter on the Flow Rider? Wait, what? Didn't the dude like hold your hands and then you were like,
yeah?
You remember that?
No, but I actually ended up doing well. The hardest part for me was jumping into the wave and then staying on it.
I agree.
I
definitely agree. Like jumping over the wall and then not getting blown right back up. But so much fun. I cannot wait. We do have the Oasis of the Seas group cruise coming up. That's December 5th of 2021. So plenty of time for you guys to lock that in and book it and get secured. Lock in your cabin and come and sail with us. We are going to have so much fun. We've already got a great group that's being built up and formed. So if you would like to book that, just head over to my website, joshhokum.com. Click on Cruise with Josh, and then fill out that booking form, and I will contact you. You do have to be 18 years or older in order to fill out the form and book the cruise. But if you're not 18 years or older, you'll have to get a parent to do that for you. It's a really simple process. I can get you booked literally in, 15 minutes, and it's done, and we've got you on board. If you have future cruise credits, I know that this week Royal did announce more cancellations. So if you do have a future cruise credit that you like to apply, we can certainly apply that to this cruise, and that way you don't have your money sitting out there in limbo. I'd love to do that for you. Love to take care of that. Like I said, just fill out the booking form if you'd like to join us, be a part of that. It's going to be so much fun. I'd like to say what's up to Mama K, Deborah Lusk. What's going on, baby? I hope that you are doing well. I've also got Don Ash. Don Ash Sr. on my screen. Welcome to you, sir. How are you this evening? I hope that you're doing well. I got Michael Baggs. This says, no Momma Hocum, question mark. That's right, Michael. We'll have details on that in just a few minutes. I have an important update on Momma Hocum that we will get to. Stick around just a few minutes. I want to go through and welcome everybody first. What's up to Frank Mueller? We got Tanya Thompson here. ALJ, what's going on? Alex, good to see you. Chris Cleveland, I hope you're doing well. He says, hope you had a good week so far, everyone. Certainly, I know that I have been having a good week. Hope that you have as well. Gary dropping in right now with a $5 super chat. Says, for those on the fence, book by 131, get double loyalty points. Gary, I have a great announcement for you, buddy. Actually, Royal Caribbean this week extended. That's right, they extended the double loyalty points. You can book by, I think it's June 30th now, June 30th. If you book between now and June 30th, you get double loyalty points. Yeah, they extended that because they announced more cancellations. They kind of had to throw some good news in there so people weren't too upset with them. And so they did. They ended up extending that. They did not extend the lift and shift program, which is big. You know, there's a bit of controversy there with that. I think that they might end up, you know, rolling back on that decision and maybe going ahead and doing that. But you still can do your future cruise credit, you know, if your cruise gets canceled, or like I said, if you do book a new one, the loyalty points, you get double loyalty points. And basically what that means is that, you know, like any cruise line has, you know, your tiers, your booking tiers, and each tier, you know, you have perks, like maybe discounts off your cruise, maybe you get like a pin on some cruise lines, maybe you get like a fruit basket or a dessert plate in your room or things like that, you know. Well, for Royal, if you book now through June 30th, you get double those points. So it's usually 1 point per night of your cruise. So for this cruise, it'd be 7 points normally, but instead it's going to be 14. So essentially you're like sailing for 2 weeks instead of one. You get the points for 2 weeks instead of one, which is really nice. A lot of people find great benefit in that, especially if you're like on the teeter to like, you know, transfer into the next tier. It might be beneficial. Speaking of which though, Peter, you're close to platinum on Carnival, aren't you? You're pretty close, I think. Yeah, so like this would be really beneficial for you. So like, you know, if Peter was... Go ahead. Yeah,
but Carnival's not doing it, right? It's just Royal.
Mm-hmm. It's just Royal right now. I can see them doing it something like that. I mean, it's really easy. I honestly don't know why all cruise lines don't do that during this time, just to incentivize more bookings. I mean, it's a really easy, you know... I mean, if you think about it, like the rewards that you're getting, the biggest reward that you usually get would be percentage off your cruise. So like in this case, for the group cruise, like if you are on Royal Caribbean, if you're gold or below, so we have a $50 onboard credit offer that I can apply. But most of the time for persons platinum and above on Royal Caribbean, it's not worth taking the OBC offer versus the regular cruise fare, because their regular cruise fare with their Crown and Anchor Society discount is a bigger discount than that group onboard credit. So that's the other...
I also think Royal caters more to the members of its program than Carnival does.
I agree. I think they have I think Royal set up a really, really nice rewards program. And Royal, out of the major cruise lines, Royal is the only one that I've seen where the loyalty program really does give good discounts sometimes. I mean, it's not always that you're going to find an amazing discount for, you know, this loyalty tier versus that one. But I just in doing my own research and booking clients, like I have noticed those higher tier clients have a really nice discount applied to their booking, or they have really nice incentives and perks and things like that. So I think good on Royal for taking care of their return customers. That's really what it boils down to, and that's what it's all about. We got Chris Cleveland in the house. Gamalier Brownlee, welcome to you. Kaya Baker, we got Aaron Bunder, Griff, and Alyssa. My great friends, Griff and Alyssa. What's going on, friends? Hope you're doing well. Great to see you. Great to chat with you and hang out with you tonight. We got Bill Jensen in the house. Andrew unboxes. I wonder what Andrew's unboxing next. Welcome to you, buddy. We got Angela Danielson. Anthony Simon, welcome to you. Alicia Hokum. I always like your last name because it's very close to Hokum. And actually, it's so funny. A lot of times when like I tell people my last name, Josh Hokum, they will spell it Holcomb, which is exactly how Alicia spells. And I have to correct them. I'm like, no, take C-U-M. Take out the B and the L. But I think I always find that really, really funny when I read your name. Welcome to you, Alicia. So happy to see you here with us tonight. We got Christina V, Dewey Sky, Dewey Ski, Dewey S. I never know if it's, Peter, let's take a poll right now. Let's take a poll. What do you think, Peter? Is it Sky or Ski? Tell me.
Ski.
You think it's Ski? I think it's Ski too. I don't know why I always say Sky. I don't know why I always say Sky. I feel like mentally slow when I say Sky.
I think it would be Ski.
Dewey, you have to let me know. Is it sky, like blue sky, or is it ski, like I might be going for a ski when I step down my steps tomorrow in the snow? Let me know in the comments, please. How do we properly pronounce, which actually, this is a handle. Dewey is actually also booked on the Oasis cruise, and his real name is, well, I won't say it in case he wants to keep it anonymous, but welcome to you, sir. He said ski? Ski, like we're going skiing. Okay, fantastic. I have to remember that. We're going
skiing, yeah.
I have to remember that. Okay, Dewey Ski. He says, get psyched up for next month's trip, or getting psyched up for next month's trip to San Diego and Cancun. That is awesome. San Diego and Cancun. We were supposed to have visited California back in, you guys know the whole drill, October. We were supposed to be on the group cruise with Hani, one of our moderators, and he was going to be the official sponsor of the cruise, and anyway, COVID, and here we are. So, one day we'll be able to head over and check out, check out the West Coast. But big bummer for actually you folks sailing that were due to sail out of San Diego. I actually had one, Vicky Angelastro. She was due for a cruise on the Miracle out of San Diego, and this week, Carnival, they nixed it. It was 2022, January. And they nixed it. They moved the Miracle to Long Beach to basically, because where they sold off the Inspiration and the Imagination, they needed, more. They needed another ship there. With the exception, they're keeping they're keeping the San Diego sailings for Hawaii. So those 15-day journeys cruises to Hawaii, which honestly, really up in the air for those as well, because right now, the CDC has a ban on anything longer than 7 days. So, I mean, I think those could be up in the air, which would really hurt well, it wouldn't hurt Hawaii. Let's make no mistake. I think Hawaii's definitely getting their coin. But the cruise market in Hawaii, I imagine that would definitely hurt them some. You have the Pride of America for Norwegian, and that's really the only ship I think that's based in Hawaii, that stays in Hawaii, there's some seasonal Princess that come in. Holland America, they have some seasonal ones. And then Carnival has some seasonal ones that come in and out. But I think Pride of America was the only one that really stayed there. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how that affects Hawaii. But big hugs to you guys that if you had a San Diego cruise, you got canceled. I'm so sorry about that. Dave A., what's going on with you? We got Michael, Maurice, let's see, Jennifer, Sean. I'm just going through these really, really quick, trying to get to the bottom of the chat here. Alan and Julie, Rose, Aaron, AJ, Love, what's going on with you? There's Gary, Mike Jackson, Joseph, Brenda, Justin, Trey, Sherry, Awesome Sunsets Travel says, hey, Peter. Peter, you have a fan. Sherry, Awesome Sunsets Travel.
Sherry.
What's going on with you? Brad Jackson, my good buddy Brad. So good to see you, dude. I hope you're doing well. All right, I'm jumping down here. Love to cruise. Welcome to you. I'm jumping to live chat, guys. So if I haven't gotten to you, just drop a new comment, okay? Don Lee, what's going on with you? Welcome to the stream, everybody. Rally Creative Travel. We got Nick J. Travel with Nick. What's going on, dude? Nick, you've been killing it lately, buddy. I love what you're doing over there. Keep it up, okay? Mark and Nicole Cruz Too Little. What is going on? Welcome to you. Man, so many awesome folks. All right, I'm down at the bottom here. I am down at the bottom. Yeah, Vicky, I see your broken hearts right now. Yes, I hate that for you. I did get a notice, though, that Carnival processed your refund, so that's good. They were quick on it. It should be back on your card pretty soon. Hopefully the next, 7 to 10 business days, whatever it, however fast they can turn it. Well, let's see. It's about to be the weekend, so yeah, it'll probably be 7 to 10. But that's nice. At least they were quick with it. Jessica Crack dropping in with a $5 super chat says, since we are on the topic of names, let me formally introduce myself. I'm Jessica Crack, last name pronounced Croc, and first name is Jessie. Jessie Croc. Jessie Croc. Very good. So we'll have to remember that one as well. Jessie Croc. Jessie Croc. Okay, C-R-O-C-K. Like, I don't know how I'm going to remember that. I'm going to have to, study hard over the next 2 weeks to remember this, Jessie, but I'll get it. I'll get it. Just Bear with me, okay? We got Carrie Brock here, our first person in the chat tonight. She says, if my October cruise cancels, I may try and book the Oasis December cruise. You should, definitely. I mean, I hope your October cruise doesn't get canceled. Hopefully by October, we'll be up and running. I really believe that we should be. If everything continues to go how everyone is projecting, all the big wigs with the the fancy names and the fancy titles and the MDs after their name and PhDs after their name, if they, if everything keeps going the way that they're saying, then I think we'll be okay. We should be good for October, and that's why I am not worried about December at all. I'd really like to see May. I think that we've got a shot at May. If everything continues the way, again, that the people with the PhDs and the MDs and all the fancy titles after their name, if they are truly tracking this right and anticipating what's going to happen in the U.S., and if you live in the U.S., you know that our situation here is much more fluid than other places. If everything goes the way that they're tracking, I think that May we could be good. That's not to say that every cruise is going to be back in May. I don't believe that. I don't think that for 1 second. I think that a lot of cruises are going to be canceled in May. But I do feel strongly that May we could be seeing that restart that we've all been looking for. I hope, guys. But something important to remember, according right now to the CDC's guidelines, and again, this could change, and personally I hope it does, but we have to have roughly 30 days notice for test sailings. So the CDC has to be notified by Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian, whatever. Hey, we're going to do a test sailing. About 30 days, right? They need to know. That's what the process that they've laid out. So 30 days, test sailing. Once that test sailing is given a green light, to my understanding, 60 days before they can restart, right? And that's also, there's something in there about a negative COVID test for all crew for 28 days, which to my knowledge should be happening. I mean, the ships are very isolated right now, very isolated. So that should be happening, I feel. But, we'll just have to wait and see. So, I mean, in total, you're looking at 90 plus days. My good buddy Tony with Lolly the Loca, he mentioned that earlier this week, and it was a great topic to bring back up. That, we are still looking at like 90 days. If test sailings are announced tomorrow, we're looking at least 90 days. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm not saying that May, I think that cruising could be back in full force, that everybody that has a cruise booked, look, the reality is, if you have a cruise in May, I would bet on it getting canceled and then be pleasantly surprised if it doesn't. You know what I mean? But that's not to say to rule it out, We just have to really wait and see what happens. And like I mentioned, what I'd like to personally see is those lengthy restrictions that the CDC have put in place. I'd like to see those shortened. Like 60 days, I feel is very excessive. I feel that's very excessive, And I don't know, maybe, Peter, I'd love to get your thoughts on that too. But like maybe the 60 days is so they can call like a full crew back and get them trained, or I mean, what do you feel is what is a logical answer to that?
Yeah, because what they would need to get the crew back, and like you said, train them on new procedures. Also, I think during those days they would do the test sailings. I would think, right? I mean, that's probably when the test sailings would happen, is during those 2 months.
Right.
So
right.
I think
so the test sailings, once successful, once passed, which again we don't really have concrete check, this is what you need, so we're still waiting on that. Once those pass, it's my understanding, and maybe you guys have interpreted this differently, so I'd love to hear the conversation continue in the chat below, but it's my understanding that once those test sailings happen, that it's 60 days. Like once we get a green light on the Oasis of the Seas, once we get a green light on that ship, then it's, actually let me back up because they wouldn't start with Oasis. Let's say Mariner of the Seas, which is a highly anticipated test sailing cruise ship. That's what we really anticipate Royal Caribbean is going to start with, is like Mariner and Navigator, maybe 1 or 2 others. Let's say Mariner of the Seas does a test sailing in March. She gets the green light. Everything is great. CDC's all happy. Cases are trending down. Hospitalizations trending down. They're like, okay, yeah, you're good 60 days from now. That's the way that I understand it. Is from the time that test sailing is complete, they get a check mark, they get a go to cruise, it's 60 days. Let me know if you guys interpret that differently. That's the way that I interpret it. We did have one other super chat come in from Gary here, a $5 super chat. He says, if the special guest book, the cruise will go from epic to Big Bang. Big Bang for sure, Gary. Big Bang for sure. Absolutely. We would just have to wait and see if that happens. I think I know who you're talking about with that one. Jane C says, hoping my Alaskan cruise will be okay. It's end of August, but who knows? Jane, I'll be honest with you, sweetheart. That is really up in the air. That is Alaska, I think, and the reason Alaska is so up in the air is because most Alaskan cruises, if not all of them, to my knowledge, do make a stop, many stops in Canada, and Canada is one that is locking things down really, really hard, with U.S. travel right now and things like that. And I'm really just outside travel in general. So that is one that I think is very, very questionable. I won't lie to you. I won't skirt around the bush. I really hope your cruise goes. I really, really do. I hope that we can see an Alaskan season. Royal Caribbean pulling Ovation of the Seas. It's Ovation, right? Or no, Odyssey. Is it Ovation or Odyssey? Which one did they pull this week? I think it was Ovation, actually. Pulling Ovation from Alaska for its Alaskan season. You know what? It's one of the O ones, okay? I don't want to misspeak here and tell you guys wrong. It's either Ovation or Odyssey. Them pulling that ship from Alaska this week and basically saying, hey, look, we're going to keep this in China. We're going to keep this over here. Things are going well. No, you know what? It's not the O ones. It's Spectrum. That's what it is. It's Spectrum. It kind of gave me a red flag for the Alaska cruise season, I was like, man, if Royal Caribbean's willing to do that for their biggest, their big ship, their big new, brand new, shiny object. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. So we'll keep an eye on it. Definitely going to keep an eye on it. Scrolling down to the bottom of the chat here. All right, Walter is saying Ovation. Frank says, Josh, it's Ovation. Odyssey isn't built yet. Okay, is it Ovation, though, or is it Spectrum? Let me know. Is it Ovation or is it Spectrum? Oh, now we got John Paul saying it's Quantum.
It's
Goodness.
Quantum.
I don't know which one it is, guys. It's one of the Quantum class ships. Okay, we'll go that far. I am confident in that. It's one of the Quantum class ships. This is the struggle that I think we all as cruisers have right now, is we've been fed so much cancellation information, it just all blurs together at this point. Like, was it that ship that was canceled, or was it that ship that was, I don't know. Do you know what? Whatever. All right, so we have a, man, we should like really cast a formal poll at this point. We have Ovation on the screen. We have Quantum. Frank Mueller says, Josh, it is Quantum they are keeping in Singapore. Okay, well, Frank is a trusted Royal Caribbean expert here, so we're going to go with Frank. And speaking of Frank, wonderful Frank Mueller, guys. You know him, you love him. He has been in our chat section. He's been in our chat section time and time again, many months now, a hardcore supporter of the channel. Guys, next Wednesday, Frank Mueller is celebrating his 21st birthday. I'm sorry, his 18th birthday. Frank is celebrating his 18th. I know, guys, I know. He's going backwards in the numbers, right? Like, it was supposed to be 30, but he said, you know what? With all the pandemic and everything, I'm just going to rewrite it. You can change your last name. Well, I'm changing my date of birth, all right? And that's how it's going. So, Frank, happy 18th birthday to you, sir. Big congratulations to you. Sorry that we can't celebrate with you next week, Wednesday, but big congratulations. I'll have Scott Wilson send over a cake in a box for you, okay? Scott Wilson, did you get that? Did you write that? Write that. If you know, you know. If you don't know, well, you just have to go back and find it. Guys, having so much fun with you tomorrow. I do want to mention this for, let's see, Antoinetta. Antoinetta says prayers tomorrow for Sean and Steph. Yes, guys, do keep Sean and Steph in your thoughts, in your prayers, in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind, in the forefront of your day. Sean is definitely going through some troubles right now with his chemo and his cancer, and we do just want to keep them in mind and send up all the positive vibes that we possibly can their way. I know, Steph, this can't be any easier on you, but we just want you to know that we're here with you. If there's anything you need, please give me a call, okay? I'd be happy to help any way that I can. Guys, speaking of wait, 18 is huge, says Jennifer Blackburn. I thought so. I was telling Lauren the other day, I was like, man, I am 23, and I feel about 50 some mornings when I wake up. I'm like, oh my God, it's 7 o'clock. I can't do this. I just gotta go back. I like slept until 9:30 and I thought my world was over the other day. It was awful. Jesse Croc got it right. Jesse Croc dropping in. Man, you are killing the super chats tonight. A $5 super chat says, I just had a cruise canceled for April. Oh no, he said, I accepted the credit online. Are you able to assist with rebooking or do you focus solely on group cruises? No, absolutely. Absolutely. Send me the details, send me an email, and we'll get you rebooked, no worries, okay? I hate that your cruise got canceled, but yeah, I'd love to help you get that rebooked and get that FCC applied. That's something that is done on the back end. You guys can't really do that, on your end. So I'd be happy to take care of that for you. Just send me an email, okay, Jesse? All right. So guys, I'm sure you're wondering, where is Momma Hocum? What has happened to the queen herself? Well, I do have some a bit of bad news. So Momma Hocum, and I believe we're going to get her on the line here in just a minute. And I'll let her tell you in a little bit more detail. But Momma Hocum, guys, has COVID. She has COVID-19. Now, she's had 2 negative tests, so, immediately you would think that she does not have COVID. However, what was it, maybe Friday, Saturday? I'll let her tell you the full timeline. But anyway, it was earlier in the week. She started feeling a little sick, a little ill. She had a fever. That fever came down. This was last week. That fever came down and it had subsided. Beginning of the week, she lost her sense of taste and her sense of smell. And so at that point, she was like, okay, I really have to have a COVID test done at this point. Goes and has that test done, comes back, it's negative. We was like, okay, maybe it's just a little freak thing. Well, that has continued on. Her fever spiked back up again. She feels absolutely horrible. Made an appointment with her doctor. I think we have her on the line right now. Momma Hocum, are you there? Can you hear us?
I'm here.
Okay, all right, so let's see if we can bring it. There she is. Guys, do excuse Momma Hocum's relaxed state tonight. She is relaxing. I told her, I said, Mom, don't even worry about the show tonight. Peter and I, we'll just do it, and you just rest. And then she called me this afternoon. She said, well, I'd love to stop in for just a moment or two. So, Mom, you want to walk us through the story? Tell us, how are you feeling? What exactly has happened? What's going on, and what's the next? What's coming after this?
Leave it to me to not be the typical patient, okay? That's just, I'm never normal, okay? But last Wednesday, I started getting sick. And you know as well as I do, anybody who's been around me or was on the group cruise knows my hormones have been fluctuating. So I've always been hot. Mm-hmm. I'm always hot. I keep the house at 68 degrees, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm still sweating even at 68. Well, as you see right now, I'm under a blanket, okay? Right. I started getting cold. And I'm never cold. And I've been cold and chills and aches and just feeling like I've been hit by a Mack truck. So that was Wednesday evening. Wednesday night, I started getting a low-grade fever, around 100. So I woke up Thursday morning. I called my boss, and I said, this is what's happened. I said, it came on really fast. Mm-hmm. And she said, go get a COVID test. So I went to our employee health, got a COVID test. Came back on Friday and it was negative. So they're like, well, let's see what happens through the weekend. Maybe you'll feel better. On Saturday, I was feeling okay. Not the greatest. I was still weak. But Sunday, I was here and Josh, love his heart, on Thursday when he found out I was sick, he went and got me a bouquet of flowers. Well, I was here Sunday and Papa Hokum was fixing some barbecue jerky. Mm-hmm. And I realized I couldn't smell it. And it's when he cooks it, it fills the house. You can smell it everywhere. And I couldn't smell it. So I went over to his bouquet of flowers, which I had been able to smell, which are beautiful daisies.
Did you haven't, are they still there?
They are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can kind of see them. They're a little bit blurry, but it's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I can't smell them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, dear God. And then I noticed, at that point, I started paying more attention. And I'm like, everything I'm eating now tastes like my tongue has been burned.
Mm-hmm.
Like after you've drank like too hot of coffee or something and your taste buds are scorched.
Right.
That's how I feel.
Huh.
So I called my boss back. Of course, I texted her and told her, and I'm like, I'm going to get another COVID test on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, they went deep enough to probe my brain because my eyes watered. And I was like, oh, dear God, this is awful. And it came back negative.
Mm-hmm.
So I called my doctor yesterday morning, and I went to the doctor and I told him about my symptoms. And he said at that point, he said, if you hadn't already had 2 COVID tests, that I would say you have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I can't prove that you have COVID because we have a negative test. He said, however, he wants me to come in next week and have blood work drawn to see if I have antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have the antibodies, then they're going to give me some of the experimental drugs, put me in a drug trial, and give me some of the experimental IV drugs that they're giving to patients with COVID. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, and that'll make me feel better. Like right now, I have no energy. If I try to get up, I get an instant headache. I get short breath. Like I said, I still don't smell anything. And people who know this too, you know this. I cannot stand the smell of salmon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes me gag.
Yeah.
Papa Hokum took advantage of that yesterday and cooked salmon in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And
now,
I never.
Yeah. Lots of comments for you, Mom. Lots of sweet hugs and prayers sent your way. Mama Kay says if you need anything, just let her know. Absolutely. So many, sweet comments here. A great comment from Gary, and I think you mentioned something about this to me, Mom. Gary says, what's your pulse oxygen?
I've ordered one and it's coming in the morning. The doctor has already told me, to keep an eye on that. And of course, if it drops, go in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can check my heart rate. I do have a heart rate monitor, and my heart rate, I get up and start moving around, my heart rate will go up to 130.
Sure. Now, and when did you lose your taste? It was Monday, right? Sunday. And so now we're here on Wednesday and still, no taste, no smell. We had 2 super chats come in while we were just discussing that. One right now from Sean. Sean McKay says, Mama H, feel better. Hi, Josh and Peter. Big thank you to that for that. And then we had Jesse Croc says, another super chat for getting my name right. Treat Lauren to some homemade pizza and cookies, and prayers to Momma Hocum. Certainly will. Thank you so much for that, Jesse. Really do appreciate that.
I can't taste anything. I want to eat, and I'm eating because I know I've got to keep my nutrition up. Mm-hmm. But I can't taste anything, and it's driving me crazy.
Sure.
I see all these food commercials, and I'm watching Food Network, and I'm like, I want to eat that, but then I can't taste it, so it doesn't matter.
We had some questions about Papa Hocum. How is Papa Hocum, and what is his symptoms and condition like?
Actually, he's fine. He actually got tested on Monday as well, and he has no symptoms. It's a technicality because I'm negative, even though I have all these symptoms. His work will not let him quarantine.
All right, so let's talk about this for just a second, because I do have a bit of a bone to pick here, or just a food for thought for you guys. So, Papa Hocum was going to do the correct thing that he was supposed to do, and I feel like we all would agree here. Like, hearing Mama Hocum's symptoms and just, I don't know how more I can tell you. My mother is not one to, not be able to walk up a set of stairs, but like she was winded walking up a set of stairs and just feeling so, lethargic and tired. I mean, Mom, one more time, we really appreciate having you on here tonight. I know that, this was tough for you, but appreciate having you.
Well, I wanted people to know at least, I may have COVID, but I'm not on the vent yet, okay?
Don't say yet. No. We're not going to say yet. No. We're not saying yet. We're going to keep that word out of vocabulary for this scenario. But so, he was going to do the proper quarantine procedure, called into work, and they instructed him, no, you have to come to work.
it's because I'm not testing. His boss doesn't believe I have COVID.
I could say so many things right now, but in the spirit of not risking my dad's job, I will refrain from my comments. But I don't agree with that. That's what I'll say there. I don't agree with that at all. I think that's very...
Basically, yes. My husband, Papa Hocum, basically looked and said, fine, I'll come to work, but if I end up infecting the entire place with COVID, it's not my fault.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I told that to my boss today, and he said the exact same thing. He said, well, he was like, I hope they know what they're getting themselves into, because God forbid that he has it and then carries it in there and it ends up infecting the place. Gary asked, could it be the flu? He said, could it be the flu?
I test yesterday, and it was negative for A and B.
So had the flu test, because that's what I thought, Gary. When she had 2 negative tests, I was like, all right, this has got to be just a weird strand of the flu. And I even asked her today, I was like, well, Mom, could you be, playing a trick on yourself, and maybe you do have the, just a really bad cold and your body's just like, no, you have COVID, but no, that's not the case, because she had a flu test and that's negative. And so we've had a fever, the last several days as well. So I'm glad that Momma Hocum was able to come on here so you guys could see, like, I don't know that I've seen, like, live what somebody is like with COVID. And of course, sure, it's different for everybody. Some people it's worse. Some people you have it the whole time and you don't even know. You literally walk around with it and don't even know.
Well, and that's what we're questioning, is if Papa Hocum could be maybe an asymptomatic carrier.
I asked the same question because, the question inevitably came up from me and I think many others, where did you get it? Where in the world could you have got it? Because let me explain something to you guys. Momma Hocum does not go place. She doesn't leave the house like during the pandemic. Yeah, no, I mean, she just doesn't leave the house during the pandemic because she, is prone to getting sick with something like this and it being very detrimental. So that's why we're keeping a close eye on her. She does have diabetes and things like that. And so we're keeping a close eye on her and monitoring her symptoms. And, the first sign of anything bad, we're going to take her right in. But, she didn't go places. She doesn't go places. It's not like Momma Hocum was out, party animal, all this stuff. Like, the only place that she went, so this wonderful new, couch love seat that she's sitting on here, they just got this. Huh?
Well, hang on.
Uh-oh.
I was going to say, let me just show this real quick.
Here. Okay, there we go, yeah. So there's her brand new couch and 2 love seats there, 2 recliners. Or, I'm sorry, a love seat and 2 recliners.
Yes.
That she got. That's your thumb, baby girl.
Well, I'm working on replugging this back in.
Oh, okay. So they went to the furniture store, and then they had lunch at Cracker Barrel. But the whole time they had their masks on. I mean, you weren't in the furniture store for more than an hour, I presume.
Correct.
And
then around other people.
Right.
So, even in Cracker Barrel, we were by ourselves. I mean. Yeah.
So I had the question of maybe she got it from my dad. Actually, maybe my dad is asymptomatic and brought it to her. But then, he's a nurse, so they get tested every single week, and he's consistently tested negative. So I don't know. It really is a mystery where she could have gotten it. The question
brought up is, could this be one of the mutant strains?
I don't know. It could be. It could be. You never know. And maybe it is, and it's just something that hasn't tested positive.
Do not work as well. They don't always show on the tests. And someone asked, because I'm looking at this on Papa Hocum's iPad. Someone asked, did I do the rapid test? The employee health tests, they're not the 15-minute ones. They are the ones that result in 24 hours.
The hours, yeah.
Hours.
Yeah.
So, they're rapid, but they're not. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're not the 15-minute rapids.
Right. Ben Boatman asks what, he said the new variant question mark. Yeah, so there is in Europe, and actually it is now here in the U.S., Canada, a little bit.
They said there were some cases.
Yeah, so with any virus, I mean, the flu does this. That's why, you have to get an updated vaccine every year. they have strands that evolve and change a little bit, and it's able to overcome things a little bit better, a little bit easier. But so it could be something like that just didn't show up on the test. There's a variety of things. Mama K says, I had no taste or smell, and all I wanted to do was sleep. I lost 15 pounds over 3 weeks, and that's definitely been Mom. She is not wanted to do a whole lot of anything. I told her, I said, you have to eat, you have to drink. I know you can't taste it, but you have to do it anyway. How is nausea? Has nausea been an issue?
It's occasionally. I've had some nauseous. Sunday was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I actually considered taking some of my Zofran that I keep in stock.
Okay.
I didn't have to, but I was on the verge of it.
Yeah, and so, for me, luckily, not luckily, I really don't have any risk of being contaminated or anything. I did have to go over there earlier this week for, I think it was like a half hour or something. But I stayed away from her. I stayed more than 6 feet. And actually
you wore 3 masks. I wore 2.
Yeah, I actually wore 3 face masks and stayed, a good, it was more than 6 feet away from her.
And I wore 6.
And she had 2 face masks on, and I had 3 face masks on. And like I said, we weren't over there for long. So I am not concerned, for my own health. I do just want to know that Momma Hocum is going to be okay. So I'm sure that she would appreciate, guys, if you can, drop a heart in the comment section. Drop some love for Momma Hocum. I know that would warm her heart to see that. If you've been, through COVID, you have any tips, anything that worked for you that made the experience a little bit more bearable, drop that. And of course, we will definitely keep you updated on her health over the next week or so. Hopefully, by this time next week, we'll be able to report that she has a healthy bill of health and she's all, good and clear. But Mom, we will let you go back to resting and relaxing.
Well, someone did ask if I got the vaccine. So let me explain that.
Okay.
So I take the vaccine because I'm quote unquote allergic to the flu shot. If I take the flu shot, I end up sick. It's not that I have the flu, but the last time I took the flu shot was when I was pregnant with Erica, and previous years, even the year I was pregnant with you, I got sick.
Right.
But I had pneumonia, and that year I actually ended up with double pneumonia, enough that I had to be hospitalized. So the doctor wrote in my chart at that point and said, you are not to take the flu shot ever again.
Wow.
The thing is if you have an allergy to the flu shot, they highly recommend you not take the COVID one. So kind of.
So for now, you're.
I don't know about cruising at this point for me, because if they require a vaccine, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do.
Sure, absolutely. So we will definitely keep you guys updated on that. For now, we're going to say ciao to Momma Hocum, but I want to say thanks so much for jumping back in. When we come back from this quick break here, guys, we have more Cruise Talk, more fun, and more chats on the way. 10 minutes to go until the end of Cruise Talk Live. Stay tuned.
Sign off.
One more time, a big thank you to Momma Hocum for joining us here tonight. It was so good to speak with her, and like I said, we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. Right there, what you just saw, that was the trailer for our group cruise that we mentioned and we were talking about a little bit earlier in tonight's show, the Oasis of the Seas. Peter, what is the thing that you're most looking forward to for that ship? You told us last week or 2 weeks ago, I think. It is the show, but don't they have the new Aqua show on the Oasis now?
Yes.
I thought they
did.
did. I thought they put the new Aqua show. I personally am most excited, I think, for the Aqua show. I I don't know
I love
what
the Aqua show.
I don't know what theatrical show will be on Oasis.
Oh,
but,
wait.
oh, did you look it up? I was sure that you had looked it up. While Peter finds that answer, did want to say big thanks to Brad Jackson, $5 PayPal dropping in. So that link is in the description. If you guys prefer to use PayPal, the difference is YouTube takes a little bit bigger of a cut than PayPal does. So if you want more of your support to go here and not to a corporation, then feel free to use that PayPal link in the description. He says she is such a trooper. She will be up baking in no time. I certainly do hope so. We're hoping that she'll be good for Valentine's Day, so I can give her a big hug and a big kiss for Valentine's Day. But we shall keep an eye on that, and of course I'll keep you guys updated with everything that we know with Momma Hocum for sure. Okay. I just opened YouTube back up. I see all the hearts pouring in for her, and I know that she's seeing them as well. She's just backstage right now, and she is definitely smiling nice and big.
It says it's cats right now, but we don't. I mean, that could change.
Yeah, I mean that could change to anything. You never know what that's gonna be. Love to Cruz says Sorrento. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is I think I want to do a couple spotlight videos on Oasis, and so be looking out for that in the next couple weeks, like top 5 things not to miss on Oasis, and like 5 things that I'm looking forward to on Oasis. So look out for those videos. I'm really excited to get back to work on some content here on YouTube and things like that. I'm happy to say that I am working on some bigger projects coming up in the next month and a half, 2 months. Peter might be involved on that. But one thing that's really hinging on that right now, don't know if you guys saw or not, but the CDC released a new updated requirement for United States, or for traveling into the United States, and it goes into effect this Friday, actually. So if you are traveling outside of the United States and you come back, you now have to have a negative COVID test within 3 days. 3 days of returning. So basically what that means, let's say that you fly to Cancun, Mexico for a week's vacation. Well, 3 days before you fly back, you have to have a COVID test done. And it must be negative. And if it's not negative, you ain't coming back to the United States of America until it is. So that's a bit of a red flag, right? Big alarm. One thing that I've seen a lot of resorts and all-inclusive stays, hotels, things like that, that are starting already to do dotted all around the Caribbean, I've noticed, and I'm sure elsewhere, but I've really just been focusing on the Caribbean this last little bit. They're going ahead and providing those. They are going to provide the test right there on site, at the resort, at the hotel, and it's free of charge in most cases, which I think makes the most sense. It's the most logical way to go about it. I think it's the most secure way to go about it. I know for me, as a traveler, I would feel a whole lot more secure in locking in that vacation trip, that vacation plan, knowing that, if I do choose to go, to this foreign country or whatever, knowing that I have a way to line up that test, to line up that COVID test, so that I'm not concerned about, man, am I gonna have to go to the Walgreens on the side of the road in Mexico? How am I gonna get around this? So I'm really excited, that they're doing that, and that they rolled out with that, and to see exactly how they go about, perfecting that. Because I'm sure there'll be some speed bumps with it. Like, goodness gracious, I mean, let's think. What happens if you test positive? Like, let's just say you go through the whole shindig, you go down to Cancun, you stay at your all-inclusive resort. Let's say you caught COVID in the airport, you get down there, and then 3 days before you fly back, goodness gracious, you test positive. What are you supposed to do? Or I mean, do they allow you to stay in the hotel? I would hope so. I would think so. But, I mean, those are the things I think that we'll have to kind of explore a little bit further and find out exactly what happens. Robbie O'Malley, one of our moderators, the crew in blue, big thanks to you for being here tonight, buddy. Any other crew in blue, feel free, drop a hello so we know that you're here. It says, I think most resorts are coming out and offering them now. I think so, and I think that's the smartest thing to go about. Like I said, it gives me a whole lot more confidence, not only as a travel agent, like potentially selling this to a customer, but also as a customer. Like, if I'm gonna go there, because let's be real, like, land vacation is definitely, at least for Q1 of 2021, that's what your options are, So if I'm gonna go there, I want to know that piece of the puzzle is already figured out. It's already locked down. It's good to go. You know what I mean? I mean, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? That's my feelings on it. Like, I don't want to have to worry about finding a test in Mexico or finding a test in Aruba or finding a test in insert island, you know? I want to know that piece of the puzzle is already locked down. It's already taken care of. It's good to go. Peter, your thoughts on that, sir? What do you agree? You disagree? Is it a concern for you? What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely a concern, you know, about leaving the country and not getting back in. Just because, you know, since we're here in the country, they can't, like, we're here already.
Right,
So,
right.
But if
Sherry,
we leave and then we get sick, then we can't come back in.
Right, absolutely, and I think that is you know, the thing that's kind of scary. Two great bits of information here, though. Sherry Awesome Sunsets Travel says it's just Sherry Awesome Sunsets now. You took the travel part off. She says a lot of resorts are offering 10-day free stay for anyone that tests positive. Man, look at that. Look at that. Like, and that's honestly what I would be looking for right now if I was considering a land-based vacation anywhere outside of the U.S. Like, I would be looking for, do you offer a COVID-19 test on site? And if I test positive, are you going to accommodate me? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or are you going to put me out on the side street? That's the two pieces of information that I would be looking at heavy right now. And then Doug and Nikki also kind of, you know, reeling us back in a little bit, though, saying, you know, worst part will be if you get sick and end up in whatever an ICU is in a Mexican hospital. That is the scary part. And I have to agree with you. You know, myself, I feel like I would probably be okay. You know, I swear that I've had it already. I swear, like this time last year, I was sick as a dog, had all the signs and symptoms. I mean, I don't remember about the taste and smell, but, you know, I could have lost that. But it was like 3.5, 4 weeks I was sick. So I swear that I've already had it. But goodness gracious, God forbid, I get it again. You know, I feel like I would probably be okay, but some of you watching may not feel the same. So that's also something to take into account when you're planning these vacations. Yeah, it's a small chance, but goodness gracious, God forbid, you do get sick. Are you comfortable being treated in a foreign hospital, you know? Because the United States is not, you're not coming back. You're not coming back with a positive COVID test, okay? You have to have a negative COVID test to come back. So, you know, are you comfortable with that? If the answer to that is yes, then go for it. If the answer is not a resounding yes, I would maybe, you know, think twice about that. Mr. Cruise Fever 1 says EECC Travels bought an RV. Yes, big congratulations to our friends, our good friends, Elisa and Jason over at EECC Travels on their purchase of their brand new RV. I actually checked out their tour video of it they released earlier this week. Looks fantastic. Elisa, I actually really liked the bed sheets, by the way. Jason mentioned that she was going to change the bed sheets. She didn't like the bedding. I liked them. But you know what? I do see where they maybe gave off a little bit of a, I don't know, they gave off a guy vibe to me, you know? Maybe that was why, you know, she wanted to dress it up a little bit. So, you know, go ahead. But I did like the functionality of it, and I liked the uplighting. They had uplighting around the cabinets. Peter, I'll have to send you the video later so you can check it out. But it was really, really nice. Really nicely decorated cabin. Small, but didn't look small on the inside. Like, really nice utilization of space. But yeah, that's what a lot of folks are doing. You know, our great friends, great friends, Griff and Alyssa, they purchased an RV, and let me tell you something. That thing is massive. I don't think, and Cullen, this is no stab at his video work, because everybody knows Cullen's video work is amazing. I just don't know that it's possible to get the true size of that RV in a video. Like, it just doesn't do it. It does not do it justice. Like, the first time that I saw their RV in person, I was like, what? Where are the flashing hazard trucks? Like, wide load trucks? Like, that's what you guys should be having driving beside you right now down the interstate. Like, this is a mobile home driving. It is massive. But it's so incredibly decorated inside, and I think they did a great job with it, absolutely. But yeah, congratulations to our friends EECC. I mean, that's always an option, you know. If you want to travel the world, you just get your home and put it on wheels. Peter, have you ever had aspirations to own your own RV and flip it?
Not flip it, but I would like to own my own and then
really
travel around and
really. I actually, I'm not like joking right now. Me and Peter have never had this conversation. I did not think that you would want to do that. This wasn't like a cute answer. I feel like this sounds really cute right now. This was not a cute answer. Like I genuinely, I didn't think that you would want to do that. I thought you'd be like, oh no, I don't want to drive that thing. They're horrible on gas and.
No, I think I would like to drive because I like driving, and then you basically have like your own
You
hotel,
love driving.
Like,
you know what? Honestly,
I think it'd
Peter,
be fun.
Stupid me for not giving the correct answer, because now that I think about it, an RV is absolutely screams Peter Gualiano. Absolutely saves you money. You get to drive. You have a bed, so if you get tired, you just pull over and go to sleep.
Yeah.
I think it's the perfect fit for you,
in
buddy.
the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, just pull on over to the Walmart parking lot and roll the bed, fold the bed down, and there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I would like it.
Right off to sleep. Man, that's awesome. Griffin Alyssa said, it's pretty big. Dude, I'm telling you, it's massive. Like, I remember Lauren and I sitting, so when we met them, they stayed at like this little lakefront, overnight stay, whatever, campground. That's what I'm trying to say. And Lauren and I were literally sitting across the lake watching Cullen back this thing in. And it's like, I don't know, like, it's like all the other RVs are like, this tall. And then like, here's like Cullen's RV, like coming in, like, brr, brr. It was massive. And I'm sitting, like, we instantly spotted it too. Like, as soon as we rolled up, we were, like, looking around. I was like, bingo, there it is. It's huge. You guys have to see it in person.
Did you see what Griffin Alyssa
What? He said, man, we're so tired of this RV life. I'm ready to get a tan in the pool. RV life is booty. Man, they were actually featured, though. Griffin Alyssa's RV, I'm telling you, you guys did such a good job on it. It's been featured in several magazines, several blogs. It's all over the place. And honestly, like, I see the reason why. Like, visually, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. You guys killed it. You crushed it on that project. I think especially for flipping it and with a budget and everything, like, just absolutely crushed it. It's fantastic. But yeah, all good. I myself, probably not for the RV life. I like the destination. And I like getting there, but I don't like driving to get there. Like, I like when I'm driving, but I think the RV driving, like, that would get old for me. Especially considering, like, I feel like you have to drive slower with those, no? Right? Like,
well, yeah, because it's big. Like, you don't want to go speeding down the highway.
Yeah, you don't want to go like 70 miles an hour down and let a wind like blow you off the side of a bridge. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like you have to go. I feel like you have to go slower with that thing. So I don't know. I feel like it's probably not for me. But I like touring other people's RVs. That's always really, really nice. Anyway, look, just as Mama K has said, night, guys. See you next time. I think this is where we're going to end it for tonight, Peter. So, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Cruise Talk Live. Thank you so much for all your kind words and your love sent to Momma Hocum. Like I said, we'll definitely keep you updated on that, probably over on Facebook or Instagram. So if you've not, head over and hit those like buttons over there. Definitely go and do that. Lauren and I are heading to Busch Gardens this weekend for the start of Mardi Gras, so I might post a picture or two there. But it's the first time that Busch Gardens ever done something like this. Normally it's like the off season for them and they're closed down. So, who knows what we'll get to up there. And Peter, anything fun for you this weekend? Anything that folks should check out coming from you?
No, this weekend I'm actually going to be spending it at home because I am on call the whole weekend.
Oh, man. How about, tell us about those Gideon cookies really quick. What should people know about Gideon cookies in 30 seconds?
Oh, God. Gideon cookies. Gideon cookies. If you come to Orlando, go to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
And get a Gideon cookie. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
It's absolutely unforgettable. Just look them up on Instagram if you don't know what Peter's talking about. Gideon's Cookies. It's right, like I said, right there at Disney Springs. You have to check it out. Guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Make sure you get your GameStop stock if you haven't already got it, your AMC and all that good stuff. If you're in the stocks, you know. If you don't, you don't. It's whatever. And we'll see you in 2 weeks Wednesday on Cruise Talk Live. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Be free.